Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Yinzer Brothers podcast. I am TJ. I'm here with my brother Tim. We are the Yinzer Bros on this victory week. The Steelers somehow, some way, behind the mighty Mason Rudolph, beat the Bengals 34-11. Tim is donning the Franco's Italian Army winning hard hat. I thought you would have the Mason face mask helmet, Tim.
Didn't know if it was applicable tonight because the W, but
hey, I think as long as Mason's on a roll, you got to put that on.
we still got it. We got it.
That's a little tight, Tim. How did you wear that in high school, Tim?
TJ, I was not fat.
It's amazing to me how that you're just.
I mean,
it's,
can you do?
You can almost you could do a double right there, Tim. You might be onto something there, Tim.
This thing's gonna fall. If we can try it for as long as possible, yeah.
We can't. So Tim actually called it, which I'm amazed. I had lost heart. Tim, how does it feel to be victorious in your call as well?
TJ, I've been right since week 4. I said it's going to be one of these this all year. TJ, my prediction's not finalized yet. I'm still banking. I'm still banking on having to watch Jacksonville in Tennessee week 18 in Tennessee somehow beating Jacksonville. That's what I'm banking on next week.
Well, did you see who's out for Jacksonville this week?
Does it matter? I almost want him to play. He's sucked the past like
he has. He's been bad.
Knew it was going to happen.
You just knocked something out, Tim. Your speaker went out. Something went out.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you now, Tim. Tim almost knocked himself unconscious with his helmets there. So let's talk a little bit about the Bengal game. Tim, what did you see? How did you know that Mason was going to be the guy this week? Do you have a crystal ball? I mean, what happened?
TJ,
how did you know?
You know what usually happens? I make fun of guys so much and I badmouth guys so much, it usually comes back to bite me in the butt at some point. So I figured this was the week. Haven't seen Mason in about 2 years. I've been calling him stupid face for about 3 years. So I figured something was going to happen. They couldn't have. I just didn't see the Steelers losing 3 games in a row. And that Jake Browning, I told you, I watch other games of him. He should have been picked off about 1 million other times. That dude, he was throwing pillows up in the air. He should have been picked off like 6 times. That guy's bad.
Yeah, but what did you see in Mason to make you think he was going to throw for almost 300 yards?
Come on, dude. The freakoid, the Avatar freakoid caught a 5-yard slant pass.
Hey, those all count, Tim.
The safety took TJ, that safety took such a bad angle. He took his own cornerback out for the tackle. I think I could have.
Tim's delusion of believing he has 4 plays in the NFL it persists.
It was just a gut feel. I think it was a gut feel.
Well, it was impressive. You did a good job. So let's talk a little bit about
and Cincinnati's defense is absolutely atrocious.
Well, it is bad, but I mean, we've made other atrocious defenses look like, top 3 in the league.
And I get, but do you slowly forget 4 weeks ago when they put up over 400 yards for the first time on that same defense?
They did. You're correct.
And I know they only scored 16 points. It would have been more if Coach T would have challenged.
That's true.
Deontay's touchdown. They would have put up 24 points.
Probably.
The defense is bad.
Yeah. So I mean, we had a very impressive offensive performance. The running game looked great. The passing game looked great. Mighty Mason looked great. I think they took what they gave him. They play a lot of man, and they really did not. I don't think they really respected George Pickens, and it really hurt him.
I know, it's great, dude. I mean, but George is still again. I told you the day he was drafted, he's a powder keg waiting to go. We'll be lucky to get 2 or 3 years out of him. We got about 1 more year on that guy before he actually goes. I mean, banana land.
Yeah, and what did you think of the defensive performance? I mean, gosh, we got guys basically coming off the couch playing like Miles Jack. He was basically sitting on the Barking Lounger last week, and here he is this week, and he didn't look too bad. Actually, he had a sack, I think. Didn't he have a sack?
They weren't game planning for how bad he usually sucks. I think he was just falling into sucky things. And dude, that quarterback, TJ, he was throwing some pillows up in the air. I mean,
Yeah, he
they
did
were
not
just
look
like
good.
that pass he threw that Peterson picked off. I
I
mean,
think he was trying to
TJ,
throw it out of the end zone, I think, but
TJ,
he failed.
that was like prime turkey bowl. Like when dude just throws a ball up and guys like, oh, there's 15 dudes there. So
I
I don't know.
agree.
The defense looked okay. Uh I was kind of stunned. I didn't understand Cincinnati's game plan. I mean, all I would have done was whoever our linebackers were covering, I would have just threw them the ball every play. And
It was bizarre. I mean, they had some good upfront pressure too. I mean, TJ again was TJ Watt, which is great. How if he doesn't win Defensive Player of the Year, I don't know. I'm already hearing they're talking about Myles Garrett like he's a lock for it. I don't
he's
understand
gonna
that.
because Cleveland is whatever they are, 10 and 11 or whatever. But dude, I'm looking at this thing and everybody's blowing Cleveland up like they're this and that. The last four teams they played, it was Jacksonville, I think the Jets, some other two other bum squads that they barely. I think what was it? I don't think only. Another couple bum squads. They won 4 games. Dude, they've beaten bum teams with Joe Flacco. I can't wait till that fan base. What's going to happen is, and it's going to make so much joy, bring so much joy to me because we're all in their heads. You're all screaming Pittsburgh sucks during their game yesterday. It's going to happen in heartbreaking fashion. They're just going to get their hearts ripped out, and it's going to be beating their chest on the field. And I can't wait for it. I can't, because do you think Joe Flacco is going to continue against some good team in the playoffs?
No.
He's going to get killed. It's going to be so funny to see those Cleveland fans and to know they got to go back to Deshaun Watson and $250 million that they can't get out of. Can't wait for it. Can't wait for it.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. Of course, wouldn't it be fun though if they get beat in the playoffs, but if before they get beat they take out like the Ravens? Wouldn't that be fun? Wouldn't that be something crazy?
At this point, I don't know if I don't want. I don't. I said it a while ago when they were kind of hanging there by the edge of the thread. If Buffalo gets in, they're gonna win the whole thing. I don't mind the Ravens because I think the Ravens are the only team in the NFC that can beat whoever NFC's throwing up there. Truthfully.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Bills, if they get in, they could beat somebody over there too.
I think Miami is a fraud.
Yeah, they are. they're a fraud.
Whoever's coming out of the South, bad. So
Yeah,
I mean,
dude,
I don't know.
And the Chiefs, they don't look good ever since Taylor Swift showed up.
Still
I mean,
don't care. That team is they may, but dude, you know what's going to happen. You're going to be sitting there, you're going to be sitting there too, and you're going to be going, Chiefs, they don't look good. Next thing you know, they're in the AFC title game. And you're going, what the hell just happened?
They look like they're missing some Pistons this year. I don't know. Actually,
fine.
they're dropping a lot of balls this year, which is weird.
Yeah, because they got dudes like me and you playing wide receiver for them.
They do. Yeah, see, that's arrogance. They think, anybody can throw anybody out there. Yeah, you can't. So,
but I will say, dude, I know I'm setting myself up for it. If they do get in the tournament, and they won 3 straight games, I would not want to be playing the Pittsburgh Steelers because by that time Minka will be back.
Wallace will be back.
If we put it this way, dude, if they make the dance, and that offense is put up 24 points a game, that's a team that I'd want to stay far, far, far away. Could you imagine? Can you imagine if the Ravens, if we're putting up 24 points a game, hypothetically, if the Ravens saw us in the playoffs, or would you want?
No,
I would be the
Tim,
last team we'd want to play.
They're sucking us right back in, Tim. They're sucking us back
TJ,
in.
TJ, if they do win these, seriously, if they win these 2 games, and they go 3-0, and they're putting up 24 points, they look like a regular. What's the one thing we've always said? If this team can put up over 20 points a game, they're going to be very dangerous to beat. I said that. If they're averaging like 24 points a game with this offense kind of looking like it is with Mason, I'm not wanting to play them. You have to go against TJ Watt and that crew. No,
That's
thank you,
true. Dude. And you got to see too. Isn't it crazy that it's Mason doing it? But like hey, do you care? Why not? If he could get it done, get it done.
I do care, TJ, because he's not good. I do. It's just
Hey, He
I
threw
don't
some
know.
decent. I know that one little 5 yard, slant wasn't a big deal, but he threw a couple deep balls to George that looked pretty decent to me, man.
He just stays in the pocket. He
I get
doesn't
it.
bail the pocket, which is good. It's a good thing.
Yeah, I
But
get
he
it.
just there's no way he's been riding the bench. What would that say about this whole entire franchise?
It just
Been
tells
riding
you.
everything I said about Colbert last week about missing drafts. I'd be like, dude was right on. This dude was right on. I don't know. No, he's I'm not gonna talk myself into it. He's gonna do enough to just get us in the dance, and we're gonna get our doors blown off.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. You're probably right. So I don't know. I think it was a good showing. It was nice to actually watch a game where we had it in hand, and it was. It
I
was
never
just
thought we
fun.
had TJ. I never thought we had that in hand. I thought when Cincinnati scored coming out in halftime, I was like, "Here we go, one possession game. Here it comes."
When we scored after that possession, I knew they were done. I knew since he was done. They're like, we can't do
That
this.
team stinks. I don't know how they won 3 games in a row with that bum quarter. He was TJ. It looked like he was sailing. Like he was flying a kite. That's what his balls were like.
I
Or
know they
to
were
us.
bad. They were bad. I don't know. So then, that brings us up to Seattle. But before we talk about Seattle this week, let's look into the Yinzer mailbag. What is the Yinzer mailbag? It's when you, the fans, get to ask us anything. If you got anything to send us, you can send it to yinzerbros@gmail.com. If you're lucky enough, you get to read it on the program. Tim, do you got anything in the Yinzer mailbag tonight?
Let me. I got something started off. Here we go. Since we had, we weren't on for Christmas Day.
Yeah.
I wanted to know, since Christmas happened, what was your best Christmas gift of the year?
Oh, that's pretty good. Let's see. What did we get? I got two things that I was really, really happy about. I got one of those big dog. Have you seen those big dog kitchen knives? They look like a Viking or somebody should use them. They're really thick. I
Yeah.
got one of those, so I'm looking to try that out. And the fam, they pitched in and they got me a PS5.
Congratulations on all your success there,
I feel
TJ.
pretty good about that now. So I'm back into doing some gaming again. Tim, what did you get for Christmas this year?
What I got, I mean, one thing I really wanted, I travel a lot for work. And when I travel, hotel pillows just murder me.
Mm-hmm.
They kill me. So I have one of those purple pillows at home, real nice ones, expensive ones. They came out with a travel one, so it's like half the size, and you kind of roll it up and take it with you, kind of click it on your bag.
Really?
So I got that. Hopefully
Nice.
that kind of cures some of my sleepless nights at hotels, which I was very pumped about.
Yeah.
Also I wanted a an extra monitor for my computer,
Nice.
which I got. I was very happy about. Other
Now,
than that,
you got to tell the folks too who what we got my niece.
some I was going to start this out, but the worst family gift of all time
Yeah.
was given to my niece. She got a Disney princess karaoke machine that I'm gonna live in hell right now.
Does she even sing any of the music on it? Always, every time you send me a video, she's just screaming in that microphone, which is better than I could have ever hoped for when we got it.
I was on the ground today, and she had the microphone an inch away from my ear, and she was just screaming, "Dad, Dad, Dad, Dad." And she'd every once in a while she'd be like, "Hello, are you there?" And you don't understand. This thing's a decimal like 9,000. I mean, it's all I keep. The only thing that would make this worse if she somehow knew the Reading Rainbow song when she was like, "Butterflies in the sky."
Well, that'd be something for Uncle TJ to work on for next year.
TJ, there's going to be hell to pay at some point, and I'm going to wait till you're really old to do it. But yeah, that thing has been absolutely. I've been trying to conjure up ways to figure out how to. She knows how to turn it on too, which makes it even 30 times worse. There's like nothing I can do. I can't even rig it up to be like, hey, let's. It's just. I mean, me and my wife look at each other and we just stare at each other in our chair, going, "This is like the worst thing ever." She keeps going, like her other saying, like, "Hello, hello, are you there? Can you hear me?" And
Yes.
meanwhile, the glass is shaking in my house. I'm going,
That's a good Christmas gift.
it was a great Christmas gift, dude. It was a great Christmas gift. I mean, it's been like between that and then we got her like a little vanity mirror that it plays this song at decimal. You can't turn the volume up and down on this thing either. It plays that at decimal 40. So you have her yelling in the microphone that's a decimal 100, and you have this thing, this mirror that's singing a song at decimal 40, and she's in a princess dress every 5 seconds. TJ, I had this week off. All I want to do is relax. I can't relax because that's all I hear all day.
Mission
Thank
accomplished.
Thank you. I appreciate that, dude. So my life is like I never thought that I would be like, I can't even go to the bathroom without hearing it.
That's where better than I could hope for.
Dad, it's like she has a personal microphone every 5 seconds. I can't wait to watch. I can't wait to watch a Steeler game on Sunday with this thing because she's going to be in it. Dad, and Dad's going to look at her and be like, I'm probably going to end up giving her a 4-letter salute and be like, stop it. And that thing may be punted through the wall.
It might be. I don't know. It may disappear. The Grinch may take it to do some work on it.
I mean, that's not even going to phase it. The Grinch, dude, that's the worst gift ever. I mean, the worst gift ever. The only thing is like between that and then if somebody gives like a puzzle that's 1,000 pieces, because she'll keep every one of those 1,000 pieces except like 2 pieces, and those will be the 2 pieces that she'll first be like, Dad, I can't find these pieces. I'll be like, I don't know where they're at because I probably threw them away at some point, not caring. But yeah, it's been the music machine has been absolutely brutal.
That's great. Anything else in that user mailbag, Tim?
Yeah. So hypothetically playing out, say Mason does win these next 2 games and gets this team to the playoffs. What do you do next year? Is Mason your starter? Is Kenny your starter?
Well, that's a good question. I think it depends on how deep they go and how Mason looks. I think if you're going to have an open QB competition, you do it. I am curious with a new offensive coordinator, what that'll look like. But man, if Mason looks good and he's putting up, 250 to 300 a game and the offense comes alive, I mean, do you care where your quarterback comes from? You just want a quarterback. Maybe it's time. I don't know. I don't think I just hand it right to Kenny. Has Kenny done anything to show you where he just gets it handed to him right now?
No.
He's got to work for it. Do an open competition. But what's weird is this, even with the open competition last year, who did they say won the competition last year?
Stupid face.
They said it was Mason. So like even it was funny when they interviewed like even George Pickens, your guy, he was like, this isn't like anything new or weird. This is what he does. They all like just rave about him.
He can't be the answer. There's no way he's the answer. That's like taking a test and be like, the answer's so obvious, it can't be this. There's no way that could be the answer to the test. There's none. If it is the answer to the test, everybody needs to be fired. I mean, everybody. Not even the Roonies. What's the owners of the minority stake? They need to be fired too. They should sell all their stuff.
It would be bizarre. I'll tell you, it would definitely be bizarre, but I don't know. So on that wavelength, how would you feel about them bringing like Bieniemy in here next year for the offensive
that's my dream. I would love to have Bieniemy in here as the offensive coordinator because he's going to be the one he's not going to put up with George Pickens just crap. And he's going to demand a lot of these offensive players, which they seem like they need. But on the flip side too is I don't know, dude, and it's racking my brain. If you can get them cheap, do you bring in Wilson next year?
I think if you can get him cheap, but that's the big thing. How could it hurt? Trubisky should not be here. That's for sure. Mm-hmm. How many years do you think you get out of Wilson still?
But you can't. That's the $1 million question. Is he's going to want to be tagged the starter from day one? Can you bring him? Is he any better than Kenny? Realistically,
I tell you what, I think he's been in a very weird situation in Baltimore or in Denver. That's for sure. I don't know. I mean, his numbers aren't that far off when you look at him. That's not like last year. Last year he was a train wreck. But well, I don't know. I mean, how do you not? Has he done anything for you to make you think that he's going to be a backup right like next year?
No, but here and again, I think what's going to happen is some team's going to give him a deal, and he's going to be in the same position come a year and a half later, where somebody's taking his job, and then he's done.
Yeah, I think I could definitely see that. I mean, where do you see him going? Who would make a pitch for him now? Are you thinking somebody like a Minnesota? Are you thinking somebody like the Titans? I mean, who do you think?
No, I think the Titans got their guy. I think Levis is going to stick with him. Minnesota, I would take Kirk Cousins over him. I would. I don't think Kirk
Yeah,
Cousins is that bad, but I think he's going to cost more. I could see somebody like the Raiders.
yeah,
I could see somebody like Atlanta.
yeah,
Um, I, I mean, I don't know. I just know the Steelers. They're not giving up. Kenny's gonna have one more year.
yeah.
I
Oh no,
gotta see this dude with an offensive coordinator that's normal
yeah,
before I can say, hey, you're done. But I don't know. And I don't think I said I don't think Russ. I wouldn't mind if he wouldn't come in competition wise, but I don't think. I think he's going to name to be. I think he's going to want to be deemed the starter from day one.
he's got a little bit of demon in him too. So I don't know. Well, here's another thought too. I mean, so if he falls to the Steelers, do you think the Steelers make a play for that kid from LSU?
No, I don't think there's a way that they're drafting anybody that early that's a quarterback, unless Mason is an absolute. No, I don't even if Mason's a train wreck. They're not drafting a quarterback next year. If they do, it's going to be later on in fifth round. There's
Hmm.
no way they're drafting. No way they're doing it in the first round. They have way too many holes they need to fill up, like D line. I still think they're going to go to D lineman or tackle in the first round. I think that's. I think they're going to give Kenny. That's the way they're built. They're going to give them another. He's going to give him another prove it year. Kenny's either
Yeah,
going to sink or swim next year, but they'll bring in some. If Mason bring him in, or they'll bring in some type of vet, Jacoby Brissett, somebody like that.
yeah.
You know, to
Trubisky won't. What do you think's going to happen to Trubisky?
he better do what Mason was thinking about doing, going to zone and property. Go do something. Get him as far away from us as possible.
Yeah, he is. You talk about a guy that's really struggled, man. He does not
He
look good at all.
stinks. I mean, what does that say about coaching?
Yeah,
I just don't understand. Like, what are you seeing? Like, why? Why? That dude, he could have cost us the playoffs 2 years in a row. Think about it,
I
TJ.
know, which is nuts. I
Not
mean,
1 year, but 2 years.
he's bad. I mean, he's bad. I don't know. Yeah, I'll tell you what. They better address center too. But man, they got to find a center.
And I'm getting nervous about Broderick Jones.
Yeah.
He's getting worse and worse, TJ.
Well, I think too. There's you got to remember he's a rookie. I mean, he's going to
I
be
understand, but
he's raw.
but it seems like he's getting worse from when he started. I think their offensive line coach needs to go. That dude stinks too.
Well, I mean, if you listen to Merrill Hodge, I think the whole offense is sloppy. You
Mhm.
need to bring in somebody like a Bieniemy that's going to say, "Listen, we're going to batten down the hatches. We're going to tighten everything up." When he talks about the receivers and the tight ends having sloppy routes and the techniques of of the offensive linemen is sloppy, that comes from the top. I mean, so you need
There's
a
only
good.
there's about 3 people that I would actually keep on this staff. 4, maybe next year. That's it.
Who
Would
would you
be
who would you keep?
I'd keep Faulkner, but I'd keep him and say, hey, you're coming back as a running back coach. I would keep their middle linebacker coach, whoever the hell he is. He probably needs a raise because he's
Yeah,
getting these dudes to play is
yeah.
insane. The defensive line guy's been there forever. He's good, and then possibly like I don't think their secondary's been playing for the crappy pieces that they've had put in.
They've done a good job.
I don't think they've been playing that bad. So those are the
Yeah.
guys that I would bring back. True. That's everybody else. Bye. Toodles. Gone. See you
Well, I'll
later.
tell you what, Joey Porter Jr. He's going to be good for years to come.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love the Bears. I love the Bears. The Bears. And nothing would please me more to see Carolina somehow beat Jacksonville this week,
Yeah.
win a couple games, and that first pick doesn't go to the Bears anymore. I would chuckle and laugh. Chuckle and laugh even more. Because they're thanking the Steelers. Thank you, Steelers, for losing to the beat. Don't worry, bud. It doesn't matter. They could have the number one pick. They're going to screw it up anyways.
They will. That's just what they do.
So
That's what they do.
Thank you for handing us an All Pro.
Yeah, he is.
Hope you got it all out of Chase Claypool,
dude. So what is he on, like the practice squad of Miami now?
I don't know what he's doing. I don't care. Dude stinks.
Talk about a crazy fall from grace. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Get anything else in the Yinzer mailbag, Tim?
No, that's all I got, Rel. We're pretty short Yinzer mailbag today.
That's okay. I mean, playoffs are kicking up. We'll see what's going on with that. Again, if you got anything to ask us, you can email us at yinzerbros@gmail.com, and we'll get right on answering your question. Let's talk about the Seahawks.
What does this look like to you?
It looks like actually the owner of the Raiders. He's got the same hair. What's his name again?
Mark Davis.
Mark Davis.
That's a good call. I thought it had a very Trumpy look.
It did look like Trump, but I think it looks like Mark Davis.
It is.
Isn't it funny when you have all that money, you could like look whatever you want to look like, and he don't care.
Nah, me and you were making fun of him on a podcast, so I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't think word's going to get back to him. Maybe it will, but I don't know. If he showed up at your door, would you be nervous, Tim?
No, I'd beat him
with that bowl haircut.
I would beat him. I would beat him senseless like a drum with his own hands. Like I'd be like, you punching yourself, Mark. You punching yourself.
Then if he showed up with an entourage, that might be something else.
He would probably say, "Hey, show up." He'd be like, "I'll give you $100,000. You let me just beat the schmithen out of you." I'd be like, "Where? You want to do it in the middle of the yard? You want to do it on the porch? Do we want the ring to catch us from multiple angles? What do we want?"
That'd be funny.
Yeah, it'd be great.
So we got the Seahawks this week. A little bit of good news. It looks like Metcalf may not be playing.
I think he's going to play. What's his name said? Pete Carroll said something today that he's probably going to play. I don't care if he plays. That's good. I don't care.
Yeah,
I don't care. Because there's two guys, and this is the one game where, dude, and I'm hoping it doesn't happen. I'm hoping like I don't get everything just thrown back at me in my face all at one point in time. When I hear like Artie Burns and Devin Bush are starting,
doesn't that get you excited?
TJ, it does, but I just have this blank look that I would be sitting there going, "Oh my God, Artie Burns just picked his second pass off the game. Oh my God." Devin Bush has 10 unassisted tackles. What the hell is going on?
Yeah.
I mean, that can't humanly happen.
No.
Like, if I'm the Steelers, my game plan is to run it directly at, I don't know what his number is. It's like 9 or 0 now. Bush. I'd be like, run it right to him. And then I would tell my slot guy, and I wouldn't even put Alex Robinson on this game. I would put, what's his name, Austin, and she'd be like, just run streaks directly past Artie Burns, right across his face, every play. Just go. Just go. Or I would do that, or I would put 80, be like, hey, 80, the big tight end, run to that guy, turn around, he just catch the ball. He's not good. He's either going to pass interference, or he's not going to break it up. He's not going to intercept it because he can't. He has no hands. His hands are. He's like a mix between. He's like a mix between. I don't even know who's like. He's like, his hands are they're Ebron like on defense, and his coverage skills are like they're Turkey Bowl esque.
Is Ebron? Is he in the league anywhere?
No. And Devin Bush, like I said, this dude's already talking. He's like, I know their tendency. I know that, how Najee and Jalen like to run, or where they go. Dude, if I was Najee, I would put my helmet directly in that dude's chest. Because truthfully, if Devin Bush does make first contact with him, it's gonna be 8 yards off the ball. Just put your face mask directly in his chest and just run him over. His cleats have on his face. On his face.
What is going through Devin Bush's mind to trash talk?
He has he has 2 more tackles than I do this year.
He's so bad. I don't understand it.
And dude, like I said, all I would do, if I'm in the film room, I'm just going, I would give Mason the ability to check anytime he's on the field, to be like, we're checking to Devin Bush, run at him, passing him. You see Artie Burns passing him, just be like, hey, do one of these. Like, I would even let the other defense know I'm checking. I'd be like, right here, point at Devin Bush. Like, we're going power trap right to you. It doesn't. He's like a video game joystick. It's like when the joystick comes out and you're playing and you're like, the joystick came out and the play's going on. You're going, oh my God, my guy's not moving.
He's so bad. So how do you think we match up against their defense this week? They're not very good against the run.
Mason shouldn't throw more than 15 passes this game.
Yeah.
And all 15 of those passes should be directed at Artie Burns. All of them. If he throws it. They should run this ball 67 times. 67 times. And I'm not coming off that number. 67. And 66 of it better be directly at Devin Bush. The only time they shouldn't run at him when he's not off the field because he's got to get a breather because he's got cleats. They got to pick the cleats off of his face mask.
Oh, that would be great. Yeah, they're not very good against the run. I mean, they got a decent secondary, not great, but
just run it right down just run it down their throat. Just run it right down their throat.
So how did they beat the Eagles?
Eagles aren't good, TJ. Newsflash. I know you live in Philly, but I thought they were good. They're not good. Something's missing with that team.
Yeah. I think they lost too many pieces on defense.
No, they haven't. Their defense is the same it was. Their defensive line looks fine. Something's missing with their offense.
Well, their line isn't what it was. They let some guys go.
I can't wear this anymore. My head is absolutely killing me. Something's not right with them. The only team out in the NFC that I think is actually have decent, is the Niners.
Yeah, they could be scary.
But to me, I don't. You could say the same thing, TJ. How did we beat Baltimore?
I'll tell you what, we are good at scheming. We're just good with their QB. With Lamar.
I look back at this season. I did it the other day. I go, how the hell did we beat some of these teams? We look back at we beat Baltimore. We beat the Rams, who looks like I would be a nervous team in the NFC to play them right now.
Yeah.
They're kind of thing. We beat them. We beat Cleveland. We beat Cincinnati twice, which we beat some. I don't know how the hell we beat them games.
So how do you think we match up? How do you think our defense matches up against their?
That's what gets me scared.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. Our middle, the middle of our defense is like a sieve of poo. So I don't know. I don't know what that's going to be like, dude. Like they have trouble running the ball. I think they're only averaging like 3.5 yards a carry. So,
the Steelers do put on a lot of pressure too. So that's
I get nervous because the receivers are pretty good. I have visions of 29 just seeing the back of his jersey getting just seeing his name. That's all. The ball was up there. Did you just see? All you see is his name. You're going, here we go. Name on the back of the jersey. That gets me a little nervous. They got to get pressure. They got to get pressure from their outside guys. Does Geno Smith scare me? No, because he just doesn't. He's the same thing as Mason. Those two are the same people. They both stink. Yeah. Do you think Geno Smith's any good?
No.
Okay, then.
He got the big contract there, didn't he? Holy crap.
You don't think Mason just bought himself a $5 million? If I was Mason, I'd be like, I don't want to play anymore the rest of the year. I'd sit on the bench. I would. Wouldn't you? Just be like, I'm done. I'm done for the year. If he would have been done after this game, he made $5 million in the bank off of one performance.
You're right.
But their offense scares me a little bit. Like I said, you got DK, who's good, but that's going to be an interesting battle. See, I'm hoping Porter shadows him.
You think he has to? He's got to take him out of the game.
And I think they're going to let those two dudes play. They're both physical, which is to me, I think beneficial.
How tall is Metcalf? 6'4"?
He's like 6'3", 6'3", 6'4". He's a big
Yeah.
dude.
I mean, he's
But
got
to,
outweigh. I mean, Porter he's not super heavy. He's got outweigh him by 50 pounds, but
yeah, but to me, it's one of those things. Porter's gonna be handsy, so I think that's be his benefit if they're gonna let them guys play out there. It's just the other dudes that get me shockingly nervous. You got Lockett and you got Jigba.
well,
What's his
Lockett's
name?
pretty decent for being as old as he is. He's about 102 now.
Yeah, but I mean, TJ, look at the guys we got out there playing in our secondary. I mean, to me, Pat Pete, it may be a blessing in disguise that Pat Pete has moved to safety,
Yeah,
truthfully, because I think that's where he needs to be.
yeah.
But yeah, the other guys at corners are, dude, I think they're going to be running I think we're going to beat a lot of nickel and dime personnel. And dude, our secondary's and I have visions that 19, which is named from last year, he's going to be just the tight end.
Yeah.
The tight ends are going to be running free, and they're going to be on slot guys for no apparent reason all game, and it's going to drive me banana land.
Yeah. So Tim,
What's your thoughts?
I think the offense does make me nervous. I think it's all going to come down to I wonder how motivated TJ Watt is right now. Because even as they get down toward the end of this year, Myles Garrett's getting all the press. He's getting all the love, and because he's a PFF champion, which is half of those stats they don't even matter anyway. I wonder if he comes out and he just wants to be like a wrecking ball.
But it's not even him. It's like not even Myles Garrett, but it's also the dude from Dallas, Parsons. They have him third, and like his stats are like 40 times
his
better
stats
than
are above.
all.
But I know, that makes no sense to me.
I would be. I agree with you. I think that TJ said, all I'm worried about is Seattle, but I think in the back of the mind, he's like, I think he's going to raise havoc in hell the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like, it wouldn't stun me. What's the sack record? 22?
Yeah, he holds it 22. Yeah.
He's at 17.
Yeah. I mean, it's within reach.
If he gets over 20, I don't know how you can't give him the Defensive Player of the Year award.
I'm with you. No, I'm totally with you. And he's got some picks, and he's leading in all the categories. If he can get, it's very possible he could get 2 in one game and 3 in another, 2.5 in each one.
If TJ Watt goes off this game, they're not losing.
Yeah,
they're not losing. If he has a 3-sack game, they're winning, and they're winning because that tells me that Dingbat Magoo's throwing the ball 50 times this game, and the Steelers are just up by a bazillion.
What's interesting too is this: we've not been able to say this yet throughout the year. I mean, the Steelers, they could be playing from ahead. I mean, and that puts a ton of pressure on the defense too. If Mason looks anything like he did last week, even if he looks halfway decent, and he gets the ball into the receiver's hands where they need to be. Now, again, I think Seattle, they don't play man like Cincinnati. So you're probably not going to get George like he was, mano a mano and stuff. But, it should open up other things for like Deontay, should open up things probably for Freiermuth.
TJ, it should open up us running the ball directly at Devin Bush a million times. That tells me they're not loading the box up.
Yeah.
You have to be able to run if they're not loading the ball. Against this team, you have to be able to run. The only thing that gets me nervous about them is they have a sneaky good D-line, kind of like Indies, which gets me nervous as hell a little bit. So keep in the back of your mind. But they should run the ball 9,000 times. If they're gonna do that and not keep somebody over the top, that's what they should do the whole time. Run the ball.
Yeah. So what's your score prediction?
I'm going to say this is going to be I think the Steelers are going to, again, I'm not going to go against what I said last week. They're going to win the next 3 games, and we're going to be praying week 18. I think they're going to win 24-13.
I think they're going to win too. My score prediction is 27-10. And I think
your offensive player will be.
I think the offensive player is going to be Mason Rudolph.
I'm going to go with Jaylen Warren. I think he's going to be sneaky good, maybe 70 yards rushing, or I'd say 50 yards rushing, 70 yards receiving. Because all I keep picturing is Devin Bush trying to cover him coming out of the backfield. That's all I keep thinking about.
So I'm gonna say Mason. I'm gonna say Mason Rudolph, and I'm gonna say Deontay's got 2 TDs this game. I think he finds the end zone twice. You'll get one or 2 big pops out of George.
I think your guys are going to be Jalen Warren, and again, because he's going to be staring at Devin Bush and Tavon Austin, because he's going to be at some point up on Artie Burns. Those 2 dudes, I'm going all in against their guys. The slot corner and the linebacker, all in, pushing all my chips in. Defensive wise for our side, I'm going to say I think TJ's going to have a good game, but the guy that I haven't seen have a really game in a long time, I think as the year went on, he's getting healthier. I think Cam is going to have a game and a half this game.
Yeah, he could. He could definitely shut it down. I could see him doing it. I'm going to say my defensive player of the game is going to be. Well, I'll tell you what. I mean, I think TJ's going to have a monster game, but I think it is nice having a shutdown corner. Mm-hmm. I'll tell you what. I mean, here's the only challenge. I mean, when you're a shutdown guy like that, you don't get balls your way, which means you're not going to see anything.
Yeah, I think if he's shadowing DK, he's going to get his opportunities.
Yeah, I'm going to say it's going to be crazy. I think it's going to be. Oh, geez, I can't. I'm going to say Miles Jack's going to do something exciting this week. It's just going to be weird. I don't know why. I feel like he's going to have. Last week he had a sack, and then this week he's going to have a pick and another sack. Geno Smith is not the most mobile guy on the planet. I think they're going to pinch him. He's going to move up, and I think that's why I also think our defensive line is going to feast a little bit this week. Gotcha.
I mean, that's a Miles Jack's a crazy pick.
I know, isn't that
banana weird? Land pick.
There's something about it. I don't know why. I just feel like there's just something about it. I don't know.
The one thing I can't trust about Miles Jack, at least I know those guys are going to be set up in the right position because he's going to have the green dot.
Yeah.
And he had it last year. So at least I know he knows where guys need to go, which makes me feel a little bit more comforting. But it's wild. Yeah, no, I hope so. I hope so. Hope he has a great game. But I don't know.
We'll see. All right, that's it for this week. Man, we're still hanging with you. I hope that we get to go into some postseason stuff, Tim. We'll see. It seems like the pieces are moving in place, but hey, none of it matters if we don't take care of business. We got to take care of business first. All right, I'm TJ. I'm here with my brother Tim. We're the Yinzer Bros. Again, if you like what you hear, pass it along to your friends and your neighbors. Share the crap out of the podcast. It's a great thing. I'm TJ, and there's Tim trying to figure out how to put his helmet on from high school.
There's bolts. There's bolts coming out of his helmet.
I'm sure there are because
I seriously, there was a bolt that just came out of this helmet.
Your large melon's pushing him out. Oh, here we go, baby. Stay classy, Pittsburgh.
That still number 1 out here, all right?
All right. See ya.